Imagine stepping off a plane thinking you know the world, and then realizing you don't. Because Americans don't just visit Malaysia, they collide with it. And what happens next? It leaves them staring, speechless, confused, amazed, and sometimes completely transformed. Why? Because nothing in Malaysia works the way Americans expect. Nothing. The food, the culture, the people, the prices, the weather. All of it flips the American worldview upside down. Today, we're diving into the 10 shocking reasons why American travelers land in Malaysia and suddenly feel like they've stepped into a completely different dimension. But here's the twist. Each reason gets crazier than the one before it. So buckle up. We're starting with the one thing that blows American minds before they even finish their first day in Malaysia. Someone literally told me, this video won't hit 1,000 subscribers. Challenge accepted. But hey, no pressure. If you enjoy the video even a little, just tap that subscribe button. It's free, it helps the channel grow, and it proves that person so wrong in the nicest way possible. Let's hit this milestone together. Reason 1. The cost of living that feels impossible. When Americans step onto Malaysian soil, most expect a beautiful getaway, not a financial awakening. Because the moment they buy their first meal, their brains do a full reboot. An American sits down at a street stall thinking, all right, maybe this will be like a cheaper version of LA or Miami. Then the bill comes, RM6, or in American dollars, less than $2. And the shock doesn't stop there. They check apartment rentals online. A modern furnished apartment in the middle of Kuala Lumpur, $450. Meanwhile, the same price in New York gets you a closet with a window. If you're lucky. Groceries, cheaper. Transportation, way cheaper. Healthcare, almost unbelievably cheaper. In the US, a hospital visit can cost more than a vacation. In Malaysia, Americans stare at the medical bill like it's a prank video. It's like their dollars suddenly learned how to multiply. Some call it a dream, others call it a glitch in the matrix. But Americans all end up asking the same question. How is everything 70%, sometimes 90% cheaper, but still high quality? So what happens next that shocks them even more than the prices? What could possibly surprise Americans more than discovering they can live like royalty on a budget? Reason 2. A food universe America cannot compete with. If you've ever seen an American try Malaysian food for the first time, trust me, it's almost a spiritual experience. They sit down expecting good food. They leave wondering if Malaysia secretly runs the world's food industry. Because nothing, absolutely nothing, could prepare them for the flavor explosion that hits them. Nasi lemak, char kway teow, roti canai, laksa. Every dish is like a boss level America didn't know existed. And here's the kicker. It's not just that the food tastes incredible. It's the variety, the fusions, the cultures, the spices, the texture, the balance, the price, and the fact that these dishes are available almost everywhere, at every hour. 24/7 stalls, night markets, food courts, roadside vendors, upscale restaurants. America has great food, no doubt, but Malaysia has a food ecosystem. Even Mr. Beast would say, okay, yeah, this is next level. Some Americans literally plan their entire trip around eating, not sightseeing, not shopping, eating. The best part? One meal costs less than a snack in the US. So they ask themselves, if the food is this good and this cheap, what other surprises is this country hiding? Could Malaysia possibly shock Americans even more than its legendary food scene? Yes, with something America talks a lot about, but rarely sees working this well. Reason 3. Multicultural harmony that actually works. In the US, people often say diversity is our strength, but Americans arriving in Malaysia witness something they're not used to. Diversity without division. They see Malays, Chinese, Indians, and many others living side by side, not avoiding one another, but embracing one another. Different languages in the same street, different religions in the same neighborhood, different cultures celebrating each other's holidays. They'll see a mosque next to a church, next to a Hindu temple, next to a Chinese temple, and nobody is fighting about it. Hari Raya, Chinese New Year, Deepavali. Everyone joins the celebration, and Americans look around thinking, how is this working so smoothly? In the US, Multiculturalism often becomes political, stressful, or chaotic, but in Malaysia, it feels like something natural, something woven into the national DNA. It stuns them, it inspires them, and many leave wondering, if Malaysia figured this out, why can't America? But just when Americans start getting comfortable with how familiar and welcoming everything feels, they suddenly hit a cultural curveball they never saw coming. What is the one language twist in Malaysia that leaves Americans confused, laughing, and fascinated at the same time? Reason 4: English everywhere. But with a wild twist. Americans expect language barriers abroad. They prepare for it. They're used to hearing accents, misunderstandings, and Google Translate saving the day. But in Malaysia, they're shocked. People speak English everywhere. Restaurants, malls, airports, markets. But just when Americans think they've mastered Malaysian communication, Manglish appears. Kanla. Don't like that, May? You want or not? Okay, Can. It hits Americans like a linguistic jump scare. They understand the words, but the vibe is completely new. Some think Malaysians sound like English-speaking comedians. Others instantly fall in love with how expressive Manglish is. It becomes a running joke among American travelers. Some even start using it on purpose. It's one of the funniest, most endearing cultural surprises they experience. But once the laughter fades, Americans notice something else. The country around them looks nothing like the developing nation they expected. What modern feature of Malaysia shocks Americans the moment they step outside the airport? Reason 5: clean, modern, high-tech, and nothing like they expected. Americans who expect Malaysia to look developing end up staring at Kuala Lumpur like it's the set of a futuristic movie. Glass towers, massive highways, a clean, efficient MRT, organized roads, green public parks, ultra-modern malls, buildings that look like they came from 2080. Putrajaya looks like it was engineered by someone with a time machine. KLCC looks like a postcard. And the airports? Some Americans think KLIA is cleaner and faster than airports back home. Their reaction is usually, wait, this is Malaysia. They expected basic. They got world class. And once again, their expectations collapse. But just when Malaysia seems too perfect, too modern, too polished, Americans are shocked by one thing even more unbelievable than the infrastructure. How is Malaysia so safe, especially at night, when many U.S. cities feel dangerous, even in daylight? Reason 6: a level of safety Americans don't believe until they see it. For a lot of American travelers, safety isn't just a concern, it's a daily thought. Whether they live in New York, Los Angeles, Chicago, or even smaller cities, safety is something they're always aware of. But when they walk through Malaysia, something feels different. They walk through Kuala Lumpur at night expecting the usual big city tension, the kind where you clutch your bag, look over your shoulder, and walk a little faster. But instead, they see families strolling around, kids laughing, elderly people enjoying late-night snacks, street vendors casually serving food, couples taking photos near KLCC, and Americans realize, hold on, why do I feel safe? They sit in restaurants without eyeing the exit. They walk through markets without that familiar alertness. They fall asleep in grab cars without fear. In the US, certain areas are no-go zones. But in Malaysia, Americans feel calm in places they would have assumed were dangerous. It's not perfect, of course. No country is. But the difference hits them hard. They start asking questions. Why does this country feel safer than many parts of the United States? What are Malaysians doing differently? How is a developing country outranking a superpower in basic security?